Argentina, so we beat.
They say to translate vision into reality, you need good leadership. They say there are no secrets to success, only hard work and determination.
Chance for South Africa, shot from the
They say you are not as good as your last result when you're staring at your enemy.
Let's hear what Kev says. I don't know. What do you say? Did you qualify?
They say pride is an admission of weakness.
Timbazwane! Who else makes it a brace?
Only fools don't change their mind.
We've seen it all, we've been there, we've done that, we've suffered enough. Now is the time to rise and conquer the world. As Mandoza used to say, indoda ingawa namhlanje kusasa iphinde ivuke. Rise, Bafana Bafana, rise. It's all in your hands. 3 minutes to air. all started as a dream.
This is a history. The whole world. Because Cameroon beat Argentina, so we beat.
They say to translate vision into reality, you need good leadership. They say there are no secrets to success, only hard work and determination.
Chance for South Africa, shot from the Goal, South Africa!
They say you are not as good as your last result when you're staring at your enemy.
Let's hear what Kev says. Adam, what do you say? Did you qualify?
They say pride is an admission of weakness.
Timbers won it! Who else makes it a brace?
Only fools don't change their mind.
We've seen it all, we've been there, we've done that, we've suffered enough. Now is the time to rise and conquer the world. As Mandoza used to say, indoda ingawa namhlanje kusasa iphinde ivuke. Rise, Bafana Bafana, rise. It's all in your hands.
And that's exactly what South Africa's Bafana Bafana is looking to do as we build up to 2 more qualifiers for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations in Hlikane, Africa Dzonga. Sanbonani, a good afternoon to you and welcome to the special broadcast proudly brought to you by SABC Sports in association with the South African Football Association. I am joined by 2 gentlemen who need absolutely zero introduction when it comes to South African football, but we'll introduce them nonetheless. It's the ever smiling, ever happy Coach Hugo Broos, the man that says it like it is, no matter what anyone else says. Coach, a good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for joining us again, once again.
Happy to be here again.
And alongside Coach to his left is the super journo Mazola Mulifa, SABC Sports' very own football brain. Mazola, it's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I'm going to copy from Coach Hugo and say it like it is as well.
We love it. We love it when people say it like it is. Do not mince your words like the man here to my left. First off, Coach, let's just speak about building up into this next camp you're going to be having with the team. I know you did make a request for the camp to be made a little bit longer. How did that request go about? Did you get it approved?
I'm very happy that PSL agreed with my request because there is no competition game. There is only the MTN final, so only the players of Pirates and Stellenbosch are playing on Saturday. So for me, that was the reason why I asked to start already the camp on Saturday, so we can come together on Saturday. We fly to PE on the Sunday morning, and we can already train Sunday afternoon. So if we should have been together on Monday, you lose 2 days. So again, very happy and thank you for agreeing with my request.
And I love this camaraderie between you and the PSL because we know things started off shaky, but it seems like the relationship is getting to the level we need it to be.
No, I'm happy about it because yes, I know I had some difficulties with the PSL, but I think they understand now also that we're doing it for the South African football. We're not doing it for me. We're doing it for South African football, and you see what happened with the good results we have in AFCON, with the good results we did after in the games we played. So suddenly there was interest. So, and that's what I meant before. So sometimes you have to do something for the national team.
Yeah.
And not always been focused on PSL.
Yeah.
And as you start speaking now, you mentioned the fact that, of course, now you get an opportunity to go to Gqeberha earlier, which is where you want to play the game. But that wasn't always the case. The game was initially going to Bloemfontein. Speak to me about why it was so important for you for the game to be in Bloemfontein.
We had a terrible experience during the game against Zimbabwe. It was fantastic. The crowd was really supporting us from the first minute till the 90th minute.
Yeah.
And you see the result. It was not so an easy game. Certainly not the first time, but the second time, yes, South Africa was very good and we won the game. So after the game in media, I said, this is what I want, playing in a stadium with a crowd.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is a rugby tournament and they are playing on the pitch where we have to play our game against Congo, and I think it was not a good idea to go to Bloemfontein again. So now we choose PE, and what I heard in the last days, there will be a crowd again, and that makes us happy again.
Oh, we love that. Mazala, you want to come in?
Yeah, I was saying a winning Bafana is easy to sell, you know. With that relationship with the Premier Soccer League as well, I think it needed an outspoken coach, like Coach Hugo Broos, to set the record straight, say it like it is, and for us to realize that the national team needs to be supported, you know, from a situation where games could be called off after the AFCON, but they couldn't be called off before the AFCON. So I think, you know, that synergy is important for the national team to do well. And I think Gqeberha will pack that stadium for sure.
And we certainly are hoping that the people of Gqeberha out in the Eastern Cape come out in their numbers to support Bafana Bafana as they take on Congo Brazzaville on the 11th of October. We'll be giving you details of that fixture and where exactly you can catch it proudly right here on SABC Sport. Coach, I want to touch a little bit because we're going to move on and speak about Congo Brazzaville, what your expectations are going into those two games. But let's look to the two games that we've just come out from. We had a 2-2 draw against Uganda, almost had another draw against South Sudan, but thank goodness it didn't go the way we thought it was going, eventually a 3-2 victory. But speak to me about your thoughts on that Uganda game firstly.
You know, before the games, Uganda and South Sudan, I was a little bit afraid because I said we had players, many players, too many players, who didn't have competitive games. And I think that was what happened in those two games. We played not bad, but yes, the determination and the aggressivity what I saw in the previous games was not there. And for that we came in trouble. So now I don't think it will be the case for Congo. There are some PSL games already, so the people have played more. But that was what I was afraid of, and yes, we saw it. And thank God that 2 times in the 94th minutes there was somebody like Mbata
who came through with talent
out of the 16, and so yeah, we were lucky. I have to admit it. But yeah, sometimes you need that luck.
I was about to say, you need a bit of luck in those situations. And did you feel you played a lot better away from home, even though there was not a lot of minutes building up to those minutes, to those fixtures in the PSL? But I suppose when you went away to South Sudan, you were getting a bit of a rhythm.
Yeah, but even South Sudan was not really good. I think if we had the team from 3-4 months before, we never had that problem. Never. But again, I said it before already with players who are playing or are abroad. If they don't play, they don't have that rhythm of the game. It's you can't explain it, but it is. You need those games. You need to play. You need to have to play minutes. You need to have those tackles. You need to have. This is an experience you need. And when you don't have that, even when you play friendly games, with friendly games you lose. So what? You lose. Okay, it's a friendly game. It's a pre-season game. So it's not really a problem. If you lose a game like this, then you have a big problem. So the intention and the mindset is totally different. But therefore you need competitive games. You need competition games where you know, like Chiefs lost against Sundowns. Yeah, when they lost against I don't know what. So what? No, they lost against Sundowns. So yeah, that was a very intense game. So and that is what we need, and therefore I don't think that we will have the same problems now. In fact, of not having those competitive games.
But Coach, something that you touched on was the fact that you think that the performance wasn't up to standard because we hadn't had much PSL competition and the players weren't playing enough. I want to speak about 2 particular players for your squad. We look at Tebogo Mokoena, we look at Khulisa Mudau. They haven't had much game time for Mamelodi Sundowns since coming back. And I mean, you have a Khulisa who came on as a sub against Kaizer Chiefs, but barring that, not really much. How does that affect you and your team and your planning?
Yeah, that's a problem, huh? That's a problem, and I don't think it will be a problem now, but if this situation is going on, then we have a problem with Tebogo and we have a problem with Khulisa. At the other side, I have to respect the decisions of the coach there. Okay, he will have his reasons, but from my side, it's difficult to understand why players like Tebogo, like player like Khulisa is not playing. They were one of the best players in AFCON. They did fantastic games with the national team. And suddenly, for one or another reason, they are not good enough to play. And that is difficult for me to accept that, but okay. That's the decision of the coach there in Sundowns, and we will see what happens in the next weeks. But again, if that situation stays, I have to review also my opinion about the Bocho and about Colissi. Not that they are not good enough, but because they're not playing.
All right, so Coach Hugo Broos there just speaking on Khulisa Modau as well as Tebogo Mokoena not playing enough out in Mamelodi Sundowns, saying it's not a problem at this moment, but if the situation persists, that could be a problem. We'll take a quick ad break. After the break, we'll be revealing to you the 23-player squad that will go up against Congo Brazzaville. But first up, it's a big one. It's the MTN 8 Wafa Wafa final. It is the Stellenbosch, the Maroons of the Western Cape, taking on Indle Mnyama in Orlando Pirates, who are the defending champions and looking to make history. And of course, what we're building up to is the Bafana squad that will play Congo Brazzaville on the 11th as well as on the 15th of October. Welcome back. It is SABC Sport as well as SAFA bringing you the Bafana Bafana squad announcement for the team that will go up against Congo Brazzaville on the 11th and the 15th of October, home and away. Coach, before you reveal that squad quickly, just speak to me about how you found the last camp, not having Captain Ronwen Williams there, and how you're motivating your goalkeepers. And just as you speak to that, perhaps let's touch on Sage Stevens. Is he possibly a player that you're looking at having come into your camp at some time, because he's been doing pretty well at Stellenbosch?
You know, first of all, I'm happy that Ronwen will be back. For sure. I think
he's
when
much
you have a
needed,
goalkeeper like him, every coach is happy with him.
Yeah.
And not only for me then as a goalkeeper, but also as a captain. Ronwen is a fantastic captain, and I think it was one of my best decisions.
In line for the Ballon d'Or as well.
3 years ago to take him as a captain. And you see with his performances, it never happened, I think, that an African player was mentioned to have a Ballon d'Or. So that shows the qualities of Ronwen. But what happened in Uganda and against South Sudan, it was a difficult choice. With Veli or with Ricardo or with Sifo, sorry. We took Veli because he was with us already since the beginning of our time here. And Gos didn't play either. We could have put Sifo, but it was the first time he was with the national team. And I knew if that should be not good, people would criticize, why do you put someone who's for the first time? So it was a difficult choice. But what happened with Veli can happen with Ronwen also. It was a pity that it happened. And I think for the moment, Veli is not really mentally good. He did a mistake last game,
the first
2 games
game against
ago,
Polokwane City,
with Amazulu, nearly the same thing. So I think he has to recover a little bit. And maybe the mistake he made against Uganda is the reason why now he's mentally not really 100%. But yes, it was a difficult choice, and it was my responsibility, and I don't blame Veli for that. It was not because he made that mistake, that we played a draw. We had chances enough to decide the game already the first half, and we didn't.
And Sage Stevens?
And
Sage Stevens, Stellenbosch goalkeeper?
You know, in the beginning when I was here, I was looking for good goalkeepers. We didn't have so much. And now I can mention 5, 6 goalkeepers.
You have a lot of options now,
We have options. But again, I think you don't have to change always. The best thing is to keep, and certainly for goalkeepers, because there is only one who can play. So you have to see also that the 2 others are positive. And they know the hierarchy of the goalkeepers, Ronwen won. And that's what happened also with Sifo now. That is something I looked at after when he was with us the first time. How is his behavior? It was nice to see it, and he did a very good game also against South Sudan. So we have another good keeper now.
And lastly, Coach, Percy Tau, we know he wasn't with you in the last camp, but since getting back into Egypt, Al Ahly, he's been doing well. Is that encouraging for you, for your plans for Bafana moving forward?
Sure. The reason why Percy was not with us was, first of all, the critics he got on social media. And don't tell me it's not a problem for me.
He said
Yes, he did.
If you read it, it's a problem. And if you don't read it, there are people who are coming to you and telling, hey, you see what happened. So it was not the right moment for him. In the month of July, I think, August, he didn't play so much. There were some problems also in the team.
He might leave, he might stay.
And that's why he wasn't with us in September. And now there are some personal issues why he can't be with us. So I have to accept that also and respect it.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I will not waste any more time. I know those are watching on the SABC Plus app are telling us they're running out of data. So, Coach Hugo Broos, I'll now hand over to you to reveal to us that 23-player squad that will represent Bafana Bafana on the 11th and 15th of October in the AFCON qualifiers.
Okay. We start with the goalkeepers, Ronwen Williams, Ricardo Gos, and Sifo Shane. Defenders, Sidney Moby, Rashwin Dortley, and Konsinati Sibisi, Aubrey Modiba, Kuliso Mudau, Fawaz Basadien, Tabiso Cezanne, Grant Kekana. Midfield, Tebogo Mokoena, Jaden Adams, Luke Leroux, and Talente Mbata. Forwards, Themba Zwane, Oswin Apollis, Patrick Maswangani, Ikram Reiners, Elias Mukwana, Tapela Morena, Lyle Foster, and Rele Bohile Mofokeng.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is a confirmation of the 23-man squad that will represent South Africa out in the AFCON qualifiers that will take place on the 11th and 15th of October. A confirmation of that team once again. Moving from the goalkeepers, we have Ronwen Williams of Mamelodi Sundowns, Ricardo Goss of SuperSport United, and Sipho Chain of Orlando Pirates. Moving on into the defenders, we have Sydney Moby from SuperSport United, Rushwin Dortley of Kaizer Chiefs, and Kosinati CBC of Orlando Pirates, Aubrey Mudiba of Mamelodi Sundowns, Kuliso Mudawu of Mamelodi Sundowns, Fawaz Basidine of Stellenbosch FC, Tabiso Sesane of Orlando Pirates. This is a first-time call-up for the young Tabiso. And wrapping up the defenders is Grant Kekana of Mamelodi Sundowns. Moving on into the midfielders, it is Tebogo Mokoena of Mamelodi Sundowns, Jaden Adams of Stellenbosch FC, Luke Leroux of Romania, Talente Mbata of Orlando Pirates. That wraps up your midfielders. And finally, in terms of the forwards, we take a look at Themba Zwane of Mamelodi Sundowns, Oswin Apollos of Polokwane City, Patrick Maswangani of Orlando Pirates, Ikram Reiners of Stellenbosch FC, Elias Mukwana of Esperance de Tunis, Tapelo Morena of Mamelodi Sundowns, Lyle Foster of Burnley, and finally Captain Mama 2000, Relebohile Mofokeng of Orlando Pirates. And that is the 23-player squad that will represent and wear the green and gold of Bafana Bafana in these AFCON qualifiers. Coach, was this a difficult task for you to come up with the squad? And I just want to, before we take a breakdown of going department by department, we look at a Sesana who you bring in for the very first time into your Bafana Bafana setup.
Yeah, first of all, more and more the choices are more difficult than before.
Yeah.
When you see the preliminary list already, we have always 33, 35 players, and you have to go to 23. That's not easy. It was easy 2 years ago. Yeah, very easy. So when
the level is higher now.
When we are sitting together, my assistant and me, then
you're just looking at each other like,
what are we going to do?
Yeah.
This one or this one? Yeah. So we have to discuss it. That was never before like this. Okay, this one, okay. So, but that means that we became stronger also, and that is a good thing. About Sesane, I think he's playing very good for the moment.
Very well.
He did a little mistake in the last game, but okay, I think that's why the coach changed him in halftime. But yes, he's strong. He's good. He's a good defender, and because of Ngezana, who was injured for the moment, so we needed to have a replacement. And yes, we thought immediately to Sesane. So I think he deserved it to be with us because he got very good performances with the Pirates.
And Coach, just before we take a quick ad break, you speak about how Minum Kelele, and you always say that if there's one person whose opinion you'd care to hear is Midnight Express's opinion. What do you want to say to him? Just look at that camera over there. What do you want to say to him after he alerted you to Talente Mbata and say to you, look at that young man?
Well, I think I don't have to tell him from here. He knows what I think about him.
Have you had the discussion?
He knows what I think about him. So I said it already before.
He spotted a good talent
on that
there.
table. No, he's helping me a lot. He was helping me a lot before, and yes, we are a good two-man team, and I'm very, very, very happy with him.
All right, that is Coach Hugo Broos, and that is that 23-player squad that will wear the green and gold of Bafana Bafana. And of course, those encounters once again on the 11th of October out in Gqeberha. You can go and purchase your tickets and support the national team in this AFCON qualifier. The return leg, which will be away from home, will then be on the 15th of October, going up against Congo Brazzaville. After this break, we'll take a deeper look into the 23-player squad and which players did not make the team from the preliminary squad and perhaps some of the reasons behind that. Stay tuned. And of course, this Saturday, SABC Sport will be bringing you the live MTN 8 final. You can catch it live on SABC 1, the build-up starting at 5:30 with kick-off at 6 p.m. It is the Maroons of Stellenbosch, Studies of Nix, up against Indlimnyama Masipala, who are of course the defending champions. And all roads lead us to Gqeberha out in the Eastern Cape in Ningizim Africa. Izobihlala Congo Brazzaville. You can catch that encounter, brought to you by SABC Sports on the 11th of October at 6:30. So please do go out there, purchase your tickets. Let's support Bafana Bafana. Let's make Coach Hugo Broos not regret why the game is going to Gqeberha and really just fill that stadium up to the rafters. Coach, let's talk now about this team that you've got put here together. Mazal, I don't think we need to go into the goalkeepers anymore because I think the coach has touched a lot on Velimoto and why he's probably being the goalkeeper that's dropped out of the squad. But as we move on to the defenders...
There are some notable omissions,
Yes.
Yeah, Coach, I wanted to ask, obviously notable omissions, Siyabonga Ngezana. I think before we went on a break, you mentioned that Percy might have had a personal issue that he discussed with you for him to be left out of the squad.
Yes, so Ngezana didn't play the last 3 games, so I was a little bit... I said, what happened? So we take contact with him. I said, yes, I'm injured. I said, will you please tell us that you are injured? So please send us the medical report. So he has a muscle injury.
Okay.
So he's not recovered for the moment. He don't play either. He's just recovering. So we had to look for a replacement for him. And there were a few candidates, and again, it was not easy. This one or this one. At the end, we chose Cezanne. And again, he's playing since the beginning of the season.
Good option.
Very good defender, very good. So that's why we took him, and Percy, yes. There are some personal issues, and I will not give more comment on that. I know why, and I have to accept that. So he was not ready to come here with the national team, certainly not mentally. And then it's better that he tries to solve those problems before he comes to us.
Yeah, because he is playing. We saw him in the Super Cup and...
Yeah, he was playing Super Cup against Zamalek, but they lost with penalties. And what I heard, everyone got a fine. Every player got a fine because they lost against Zamalek.
Yeah.
But that was not a problem.
Yeah.
That's not the
But
personal
okay,
problem.
yes, he's playing now again, and that's good for him, and that's good for us also.
All right, and perhaps, Coach, as we are still speaking about the defenders, touching a little bit on the goalkeeping, speak to me about how excited you are to eventually have that relationship back between your goalkeeper and your defenders, because that's something that I think a lot of people were missing in the last 2 encounters that we played.
Yeah, it's very important that there are automatisms between a defense and a goalkeeper, and we never had that problem. Because Rondon was always there, and we always played with nearly the same defense. But now, since a few months, the games against
Uganda and South Sudan.
Against Zimbabwe, we had to change already, because Kulu was not there anymore. So we have to look for others.
Vala as well has.
And Vala was already since weeks injured. We nearly played always before with the same, and that is easy for everyone in defense and for the goalkeeper. So now we are a little bit searching to another new defense, but therefore it's very important that we have again Ronwan behind. He's the one who talks a lot, he's the one who gives the guys advice and so on. So I think it will be now with him again in the goal, it will be better also.
And at the AFCON, Coach, you did mention that you need to start throwing an eye to the future as well when you look at the age. I suppose this also forces you to...
Yes, and that's a good thing about it, that we have now younger defenders. Also Cezana is not old and Gazana is not old. It means that for the future, yes, we are a little bit in a better situation than at the moment we were in AFCON.
Yeah.
And it's not only for defense, we have to look also for the rest of the team. And I think when you see here the team now, the 23 players, there are a lot of younger players in the team. And that is also good for the future.
All right, a lot of younger players coming into the Bafana lineup, and that's good for the future, says Coach Hugo Broos. Moving now and taking a look at the midfielders, rather, Coach. We see there, in terms of your preliminary squad, Batusi Obers from Mamelodi Sundowns and Sinokolo Kwayiba falling out of favour and not making this team. Perhaps speak to us about that.
Yes, it's also a little bit the same. You try always to keep the players you are happy with. So, and I know Tebogo is not playing now for Sundowns, but Tebogo is a very good player. I think what Mbata did, and not only because he made those 2 late goals, but I see him playing also with Pirates. And then we need to look for a replacement of Sitole. And I have to say that is really not easy. Sitole is a big, powerful man in the midfield.
And it's a long-term injury, this one.
I think let's hope that he will be back in March. Let's hope. He broke his leg. So tibia and, I don't know the word in English, the other bone.
Yeah.
So they were both broken. So this is 6 months out. So let's hope that he will be back. But we're looking about the same type of player, but for the moment we really don't find that.
Yeah.
So I looked also at Luc Leroux, who was before us.
He's been in the group before.
And he's playing now again with Fornamo in Sweden. So I think it was the right choice to take him.
What do you do with the situation with Tebogo Mokoena right now? Is it you played by ear, because it doesn't look like he's...
Tebogo for me is staying in the team. Tebogo played so well in the last games, in the last He's with us since I'm coaching.
Yeah.
And every game, every month, every year, he
improves.
became better and better. So it's not because he's not playing now in Sundowns that I will not recall him again. But what I said already a few minutes ago, you can't go on like this. It's not good for us, but it's not good for Tebogo either. He needs those minutes to play.
Game time.
And let's hope that the coach changes his mind a little bit in the next weeks in Sundowns, and that Tebogo will have again his chance to play. But on long term, we will have a problem with him.
Yeah.
Coach, you speak about Tebogo Mokoena. I want us to now move focus and go into the forwards, because we see here the players. Of course, you've already spoken on Percy Tau and why he doesn't make it. And I'm sure you get this quite often, people asking you about Tebogo Mabasa. He makes your preliminary squad, never makes your final squad. Let's talk about Tebogo, because he once again doesn't get to make the final cut.
Yeah, but I think I have to ask you a question. For those who think that Mbassa has to be with us, who do I left home? Foster? Then you ask me, why not Foster? So Ikram scores. He scores in Stellenbosch, he goes to Sundowns, he scores.
Keep scoring.
It comes to Bafana, he scores.
Mabasa more similar to that? If you had to make a way for him in the team, it would be a difficult choice to decide.
I think he's in between.
Yeah.
He's not Ikram, but he's not Foster either. And I think if tomorrow Foster is not there, I can take him. Or Ikram is not there, I can. But none of those two didn't disappoint me till now.
Yeah.
And you don't have to change because of. You change if nothing or if something is not good anymore. And for the moment, Foster scored again in the game against Uganda. So Ikram changed the team. He starts scoring again. So I don't see a reason why I should change now. But when Mbassa is already with the preliminary, he wasn't before. So he's coming, and we will see.
He's knocking on the door.
Yeah, he's knocking on the door.
Bit by bit.
Sure.
As we still on the forwards, Coach, perhaps we speak to some of the players that you have selected, that when you feel they are given an opportunity, they do step up. We look at an Oswin Apollos and what he was able to do. I mean, he was just running the field all over the place when we were playing in the last two qualifiers.
Yeah, he evaluated very, very good Apollos. So we remarked him in Polokwane months ago. But we didn't think that he should be so quick, so good.
Yeah.
He played a fantastic game against Zimbabwe. A fantastic pass to Morena.
I can still see it. I can still
not
see
a ball
it.
like this. No, wow, straight in the running of Morena.
Yeah.
So yeah, and after that he scored 2 times against Sudan. So yeah, Apollos is there, and he became how you call it in English, a guy who will play always when he keeps that shape. He has a good shot. He can dribble. He works a lot. What is important also. And I'm very happy with him.
Are you disappointed that he didn't move? Obviously, there was Esperance, MCL Jazz, Chiefs, Sundowns. Yeah.
You know, I'm disappointed that he didn't move, but I'm happy because if it was true that he was going to Algiers, I said to him in September when we were on camp, okay, I know
The money
it's the
is
money.
good.
I know it's the money, but it's not the right team for you.
Yeah.
So for that, I'm happy that he's still in Polokwane. He will play always there. So that is a good thing. And again, you see what happens with guys. Mayo, he's not playing
Elias
in
is
Belize.
struggling
He's
as well.
not playing. It's a strange mentality in the north of Africa. And it's not only your qualities who are important. It's also the mentality. You have to adapt on that mentality,
It's a
and
different
that is
culture
not
altogether,
easy.
yeah.
And that is not easy. So let's hope that the boys who are there are starting playing in the next months. And I'm happy that Apollos is still here. he will have chances maybe already in March. In January, when he goes on like this.
Just, Coach, while you're still on that vein of discussion, perhaps on Elias Mokwana, do you have any potential concerns there, speaking on this on the points that you're touching on now?
Yeah, same thing. He's playing, I think, 17 minutes and another 5 minutes or something like that. Again, that can be a problem for the next months. And we had that problem already when I started here, from players who were abroad, and then the media was on my back and said, those players, they are there, but they don't play. And again, is the most important thing for a player to play. So let's wait and see.
And that includes the likes of Simon, Coach. We were speaking about him off air, just to say, yes, he did make the preliminary squad last time around, but has completely fallen off now because he's just not getting enough game time in his team. All right, we take a quick ad break now, but we remind you once again, 11th of October, as well as on the 15th of October, South Africa will be up against Congo Brazzaville. You can catch that encounter live on SABC. It's going to be at 7 p.m. out in Gqeberha. If you don't want to watch it on TV, you can definitely purchase your tickets and go watch it at the stadium. And then on the 15th of October, South Africa will be away to Congo Brazzaville in that return leg. All right, let's take a quick ad break. We'll be back after this. Welcome back. Coach Hugo Broos has now officially announced his 23-player squad for the upcoming AFCON 2025 qualifiers. South Africa at the moment, after 2 fixtures played, currently sit second in Group K on 4 points with a draw as well as a victory, of course, behind Uganda, just separated there by goal difference. So, Coach, we've got 2 more qualifiers coming up against Congo Brazzaville. Let's speak to how you're setting up going into these 2 clashes. And what's your worst and best case scenario that you want to come out with?
We have to be aware of the fact that if you win 2 times, that we are qualified for AFCON. It's simple as that.
Let's go get those 6 points, Coachy.
No, but it's simple as that. So we have to win twice.
Yes.
That's all. And don't be in trouble for the last 2 games. Maybe you have to go to Uganda and maybe you have to win there or not losing there. And you know how that is if you have to start a game and you said, we don't have to lose today. What are you going to do? Yeah. Playing for winning or playing for... So we have to try to avoid that. And it's easy to say from this chair here that we have to have 6 points. But it is possible.
It is possible.
It is possible. But it was possible also against Uganda and against South Sudan. Yeah. The only difference now is that we have an opponent who is not so physical. Uganda was a physical team. Strong man. Good in duel, aggressive. South Sudan, certain moment I thought it was a basketball team.
Yes, they were so tall.
Unbelievable.
They were so tall.
There were 8-9 players of 190. So
they were tall.
Unbelievable. So they play with the heart. They fought for it from the first minute. So a synthetic pitch. So Congo is different. Congo is more technical,
more ball
not
playing.
That power. So I will not say it will be easier, but it will be different. So I think, therefore, it's possible that we can have 6 on 6. Certainly here at home we have to win. There is no excuse. I'm very sorry. There is no excuse. There you're playing again on a synthetic pitch, who is not so good. What I heard from my team manager, he was in Congo.
Yeah.
So, circumstances we will see. But again, it can be an excuse. It may not be an excuse. We have to try to win 2 times and coming back from Congo. And then we have 2 games where we can try some things.
So I can pack my bag. Yeah, pack my bags for Morocco next year.
Yeah. So you can try some new players in that team against in the games against Sudan and against Uganda, and we have to try to be in that situation.
Right, Coach Hugo Broos making it quite clear now that 6 points is all the South Africa needs to qualify for the Africa Cup of Nations, and the team will be looking to do it against Congo Brazzaville. He said it's not impossible, it's doable. All right, we do of course have members of the media joining us here this afternoon. We will open the floor to them, so if you can just please introduce yourself and tell us which publication you're from, and then shoot your question at Coach Broos.
Coach, good afternoon. It's Mandla Dladla from Dladla Media. Coach, you seem to be having this problem, with players not playing, especially at the back. There's Kuliso, there's Nkosinathi CBC. So I just want to know, is this a headache for you, or does this mean, other players like Nico Mobi, it's time for them to stand up and claim their positions as well?
For the moment, it's not really a headache, but it can become a headache. If those players, and then I'm certainly talking about Tebogo and about Kuliso, who were players who played every game with us. So if that situation goes on long term, you have to choose other players. That means that you have to rebuild again. So not for the moment, but yes, I'm a little bit afraid that can happen. We built something up during the last years, months. We did it very well in AFCON, so we were happy with everything. And now, because of decisions in clubs, we can get in trouble. And that gives me a headache if that should happen. So let's hope and pray that the situation will change in the next months.
Thank you, Mr. Dladla. We'll move on.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Coach. My name is Masebe Krina from Sokaladuma.
Louder.
Good luck for the upcoming 2 matches. My question is, earlier on you mentioned about how tough it is in terms of you making these selections compared to like 2 years ago. Looking at how the PSL has started, what do you make of the standard, the quality and the competitiveness? And with teams like Sekhukhune United and Chippa United doing so well, is there a chance, are you looking at those teams in terms of players getting selected also? Thank you, from them.
Yeah. First of all, I have to say that I'm happy with what I see now in PSL. I think it will not be a championship like the previous years, where you have one team who dominates everything and who is already champion at New Year. I think there are some teams now, for example, Chiefs. When you see Chiefs playing now, when you saw Chiefs playing the past years, there is a structure, there is a plan. I think there will be, maybe not champion, but there will be a struggle. I see Stellenbosch. I see Pirates. So there are already 3 teams who can beat, who can struggle, who can fight with Sundowns for championship. So I hope that happens. And then you have the outsiders. They have always, every year, you have always teams like Sekhukhune for the moment, who's doing well. Maybe they can be a Stellenbosch of last year. So that means, and that is what I said already before, there has to be more fighting, more struggling to be champion. That makes the level higher. When there is a team, at New Year, they know already that they are champion. Yeah. So the other teams are playing for second, third place, okay. That is then also for Champions League and for Confederation Cup. But it's not the same when you are with 5 teams fighting for the championship. So let's hope that that happens. And what I see in the first, 3, 4 games now that have been played, I think it can happen. And that can help us also a lot, Bafana Bafana, that you have a championship who has more fighting, who the mentality has to be good to win games, who the quality has to be good to win games. So let's hope that that goes on and that we have a fight of 5, 6 teams to be champion this year.
All right. Thank you so much for that question. Of course, at the moment, it is Mamelodi Sundowns, Orlando Pirates, as well as Sekhukhune United that currently occupy the 3 top positions on the log. We'll take your question, sir.
Good afternoon, Coach. Siasanga from the Sunday World. Coach, you've spoken lengthily about some of the players that you had to drop from your team due to them not playing regularly from their respective clubs. When we look at Kosinati SABC, he hasn't been playing for quite some time at Orlando Pirates. So could that also be his fate as well, whereby he eventually gets dropped from the team?
Yeah. Okay, that's right. But you know, sometimes you make a decision not only on qualities but also of the importance of a player in the group. And SABC is an important player in the group. He's not the guy with the big mouth and telling people what they have to do and not what they have to do, but he's always helping people. He's a little bit like Veli, not quite the same. They are helping the guys, they are supporting on the bench. If you need them, you can count on them. And that's the reason why SABC is still with us. Also for his qualities. He's not a bad defender, but for the moment there are better defenders in Pirates. We have to say that. So that's a little bit a problem with SABC, but again, if tomorrow Ngazana will be back and Mvala will be back, and then the choice will be more difficult for me, and then maybe you can say then, okay, this one is not playing so much. Okay, we have this one who is playing now. Socky also, from Pirates, long time injured. So he's not playing for the moment. He's not recovered. I don't know, but he was playing with us. I don't know, remember him anymore which game? Algeria and Andorra. He satisfied me a lot, but then he felt injured. So you see, you have a few options.
Coach, I'm just going to come in quickly there because I know we have one last question and we've got about a minute left. Mr. Lorenz, your question?
Coach, you said, it's Lorenz from Middlesky Times, you said that only fools don't change their mind. So would you consider going to watch Gift Links live at AGF and speaking to their coach and their sporting director, Stig Bjornby? Because I think he's one of the players that will definitely change your mind if you see him live.
We had this discussion off air, but Coach, just quick one, we're running out of time. We've got about a minute to go. If you can respond to Mr. Lorenz there.
You know, we are following players who are abroad, and we know about Gift Link. And I said it here a few minutes ago. You don't have to change, you change. You change, or something is not good, or someone is better. And for the moment, none of those things are there. So I don't think that Gift is better than the players we have for the moment. And we don't have to change players because he's not good. But he's still on the list. And again, I think we can compare it with the situation of Mabasa. Okay. Yes, he is there. He is knocking on the door, but for the moment, yes, there is no option to take him.
All right. Thank you so much, Coach. We have unfortunately run out of time. The big takeaway, there's a lot of people knocking on the door. Thank you so much to the members of the media for your questions and coming here today. Coach, always a pleasure. Super Jenna, lovely having you here this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how we wrap it up. We'll see you at the MTN 8 final on Saturday at 6 p.m. Until then, God bless.